They have sort of a different situation than certain other groups of the population where they may have to strategize differently.
So what are some questions that potential clients ask you, and what are some of the answers to those things?
Yeah, well, we get a lot of different questions. I think when we're talking about, and especially, kind of, focusing on the high net worth clients, I think one of the things that comes up a lot is as people are gearing towards retirement, what they should be thinking about, what they should be doing, how can they save in tax, when should year-end planning start? Those are the kind of things that we hear. I think that the retirement piece is a big one that we hear a lot about, because with high net worth clients, and Brett, I know that you're familiar with this too, they have sort of a different situation than certain other groups of the population where they may have to strategize differently. They need to think about things like Roth conversions, because you have a traditional IRA where you have to take the money out by a certain age. You don't have to do that with a Roth, but there are certain limitations. And so those are kind of the specialized things that I think people ask about, or they should be asking about. And I think, other strategies related to retirement, for example, reducing those required minimum distributions for people that don't necessarily need, that money, quickly. And I know, of course, we talked about the Deferred Sales Trust, an opportunity to, defer, taxes and receive that money over time, again, for people that don't, necessarily need the money right away. And so I think those are the kind of things, again, either that we get asked or we feel that people should be asking, but they don't know to ask. And so I think that's where the education piece comes in, as far as, teaching people about the things they should be thinking about. But I think the retirement is really, really a big one. I think that we have a lot of people that are approaching retirement or just getting into retirement, and there are a lot more questions coming up about
Absolutely.
that.
It's part of the silver tsunami, right? There's about 77 million baby boomers in the US alone, and every single day about 10,000 are turning 65. And as a part of that, it's about 17 to 20 trillion dollars worth of wealth that's going to transfer, Sabrina, from our parents' generation to ours in the next 20 years. And this is all according to the American Bankers Association. They did a full research study on that. And so it's happening, right? And so we're on the front lines, especially here with me being in California, but you certainly serving clients all over the nation, with this huge burden of how do they transfer the wealth without getting absolutely hammered into the tax, right? And there's legal tax laws on the books, right? And what Admin Books wants to do is make sure you take advantage of all of those legal things, right? Staying within the laws, so that you don't have to pay $1 more in tax. Is that a fair summary, Sabrina?
Absolutely.